En novembre 2016, l'UFC fait enfin ses débuts à New York. La soirée historique au Madison Square Garden ouvre la voie à d'autres événements. Le retour de l'organisation dans ce haut lieu place la barre encore plus haute. L'UFC 217 est marqué par le retour du plus grand champion des mi-moyens de tous les temps. Ainsi, Georges Saint-Pierre monte de catégorie pour affronter le détenteur du titre des poids moyens, Michael Bisping.
Michael Bisping, middleweight champion of the world.
This is big. I don't think it gets much bigger, but I will break him, mark my words.
Thank you, George. Thank you for giving me an easy payday.
A lot of things has changed from my last fight.
He's a machine. He's got the most scientific training known to man.
I have a lot more tools, a lot more skills, a lot more knowledge. It's going to be a new George St. Pierre.
And God bless him. God bless him, because he's fallen into the trap thinking that he can beat me.
Stop touching.
Cody Garbrandt is real animal.
De plus, le champion invaincu Cody No Love Garbrandt
No one has ever been able to do this to Dominic Cruz.
affronte son ex-coéquipier et ancien champion TJ Dillashaw pour le titre des poids coqs.
TJ's a piece of as a teammate, as a person.
TJ Dillashaw, come try me.
It's not surprising how much of a punk he wants to act like now after he won the belt. I'm the best in the world and I'm going to go out there and prove it.
Puis, une autre championne invaincue cherche à étendre sa domination.
All she wants to be is champion.
Joanna Jędrzejczyk affronte la dynamique aspirante Rose Thug Namajunas.
Rose not gonna handle the power of my punches and kicks. I'm the strawweight queen for a reason.
Joanna, I'm coming for you. Be careful.
I'm here to take that title from her.
Pendant que les champions et les aspirants se préparent aux plus gros événements de l'année, voyez d'abord le décompte de l'UFC 217. Le plus grand combattant d'arts martiaux mixtes au Canada, aussi considéré comme le plus grand champion des mi-moyens de l'histoire, a toujours vécu à Montréal. Après une absence de 4 ans, Georges Saint-Pierre se prépare dans son nouveau centre d'entraînement privé. Il peut s'offrir un tel luxe grâce à son long parcours vers le sommet qui commence à l'adolescence, quand il a son premier contact avec le sport qu'il va ensuite conquérir.
I was already a black belt in karate, and I saw Royce Gracie. He won the tournament against guys that were much bigger than him.
Here's the tap. There's the tap.
It made me remember my past when I was bullied in school. So it was very motivating for me to see a small guy beat up a bigger guy. I became interested in training in jiu-jitsu and becoming a mixed martial art fighter.
This man is a wrestling and Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighting expert. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, please welcome George Rush St. Pierre!
L'entrée de GSP dans l'UFC à 22 ans
What a great debut! Congratulations, George St. Pierre!
marque le début de l'un des meilleurs parcours de l'histoire des arts martiaux mixtes.
That is, without a doubt, the top contender at 170 pounds.
Il prend l'UFC d'assaut.
Tonight, the future has become the present.
Et s'empare 2 fois du titre incontesté des mi-moyens.
He's getting better. That's the scary thing. Not only is he one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world and the dominant welterweight champion, he improves every time we see him.
Il domine les aspirants.
In a lot of ways, he is the perfect fighting machine.
Mais il commence à comprendre que s'emparer de la ceinture est plus facile que de la défendre.
Every time I was fighting a guy and I was beating him, I knew right away was another guy in line waiting for me.
We're reminded once again how good a striker St. Pierre is.
Everybody's dissecting all the little piece of the puzzle on you.
It is going to be so hard for anyone in this division to stop this.
They've been studying you much longer than you have been studying them.
À chaque défense du titre, la pression et les attentes s'intensifient. Et GSP commence à montrer qu'il est humain.
Sometimes your mind is not there. If your mind is not there, you can't perform as well.
Carlos all over him, but George again utilized his wrestling, turned the tide. It wasn't the destructive finish that George would like.
Même s'il défend son titre 9 fois de suite, la marge de victoire devient de plus en plus faible et GSP décide de se retirer du sport alors qu'il est champion.
I have a bunch of stuff in my life happening. I need to hang up my gloves for a little bit.
Are you retiring right now? Is that what you're saying?
I have to go away for a little bit at least.
Yes! Ça va bien? Ah ouais, super. J'ai tout rasé au complet, tout.
Le grand combattant de 170 livres passe plusieurs années à l'écart, sans jamais annoncer un retour éventuel ou une retraite définitive.
I didn't say it was retirement. I said I was going to step away. I'm very happy. I have a beautiful life, but I'm hungry for more mixed martial arts success. I believe strongly that people haven't seen the best out of me yet. I'm gonna hurt him real bad. Make him quit. I'm taking a big risk going back, but the risk is worth it because I'm fighting Michael Bisping for the middleweight title. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego. À la prochaine. Merci les gars, merci encore.
I'm not gonna be the old GSP. I'm a better version than I was when I used to compete, and I'm gonna prove it to everyone. I'm gonna do the biggest fight as possible, and I want to make
one gives
history.
No one gives George. George, listen, while you were away, I was man enough to still be fighting those guys. The sport is a different place. Game over.
Pour son retour dans l'octogone, Georges Saint-Pierre affronte le combattant qui compte le plus de victoires dans l'UFC. Le champion en titre des poids moyens, Michael Bisping, a tout fait. Il remporte l'ultime combattant comme poids mi-lourd invaincu, avant de faire ses débuts à 185 livres, le même soir où Saint-Pierre s'empare du titre des mi-moyens pour la deuxième fois.
Just teeing away is Michael Bisping. Down he goes!
Pendant que GSP domine à 170 livres, l'impertinent britannique affronte de nombreux poids moyens émergents.
Tang's in trouble. Tremendous performance from Michael Bisping.
Bisping with a kick that rocked him. Michael Bisping. Again with a right hand that lands.
Nobody stepped into that octagon more times than me, and nobody's won more times than me.
Bisping's going off on him.
I've done it the hardest way possible.
Bisping affronte souvent les meilleurs aspirants.
And up again. Wow. Bam.
Quand il ne gagne pas, il rebondit tout de suite.
That's the Michael Bisping we have known since 2006.
Oh, nice right hand by Bisping.
Il en récolte enfin les fruits en 2016.
Line him up. I'll take him out. That's a fact.
L'année commence par un combat en finale à Londres contre le plus grand champion des poids moyens de l'histoire.
It is now or never for the perennial contender.
Oh, and again with the tongue. Anderson goes down for a second. Good uppercut from Michael Bisping.
I beat Anderson Silva.
Michael Bisping is not giving Anderson Silva an inch here.
What Michael Bisping has done is just keep on trucking.
And then I took a fight on 2 weeks' notice.
Michael Bisping will now challenge for the UFC middleweight championship of the world. Get up!
Knocking out Luke Rockhold. That was amazing.
Oh, he hurt him. He hurt him bad. He hurt him bad.
And again.
Probably the high point of my career.
Michael Bisping is the new UFC middleweight champion of the world.
But I say probably because it may have been surpassed by my next fight, defending the belt in Manchester.
The first British UFC champion looking to defend here in his hometown.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Une fois champion, Bisping cherche d'abord à venger sa défaite contre son rival Dan Anderson.
A rematch over 7 years in the making.
Chez lui, en Grande-Bretagne, où il n'a jamais perdu.
Oh my! The right hand again!
Both of these men have an incredible ability to recover. Mike's starting to find his rhythm. Over the top. Nicely done. That rocked him. Again, Henderson backing up.
I've worked my ass off, I've been dedicated, I've beaten everybody. and I'm the champion of the world. I'm one of the greatest mixed martial artists that ever lived. It's as simple as that.
Après des années de difficultés et d'obstacles et des combats importants à travers le monde, Michael Bisping occupe une place bien méritée au sommet des arts martiaux mixtes. La pression d'être champion défendant de l'UFC lui réussit.
George retired when he did because he couldn't take the pace anymore. He couldn't take the pressure. Simple as that. You know, it's tough at the top. You can't start feeling sorry for yourself because you've got pressure because you're the champion. You're in the position that everybody wants to be in. So him saying that he retired because there was too much pressure just shows what a little bitch he is.
Puis, à l'UFC 217, Bisping vise à ajouter une victoire contre le grand Georges St-Pierre.
He has all of the attributes that you would want in your champion.
À son parcours déjà impressionnant.
The worst possible matchup for him is me. Not only have I won the most fights, I've landed the most significant strikes as well. I'm a very, very busy, active striker, and I'm going to tee off on his head. From the moment the referee says fight, I will be punching him, kicking him, kneeing him, elbowing him.
Relentless once again.
If he wants to step up and try it on, be my guest.
George, come get it. George, come get my belt. Be a man. Take my belt.
TriStar, à Montréal, est depuis longtemps le principal lieu d'entraînement des meilleurs combattants canadiens. Le gym a été rendu célèbre par l'ancien champion des mi-moyens, Georges St-Pierre. Dirigé dans son long règne par l'entraîneur-chef Firas Zahabi.
Try to turn your head where you're going to fall. Nice.
Le duo légendaire se réjouit de cette occasion unique de se préparer de nouveau, cette fois pour le retour fort attendu à l'UFC 217.
A lot of people, they come up to me and they tell me, don't let George fight again. Don't let George get in the octagon again. He had such a perfect career. Let it end this way. And I always tell myself, you know, why?
So if I'm here, I get the position, you see my shoulder is pinned against his thoracic. I got an edge. That's gonna give me the edge.
He loves martial arts. He loves the thrill of competition. It's such a great adventure.
I can take the leg, I step behind, and I'm pulling his leg.
You know, the preparation, the fight night. Why deprive him of that experience?
Affronter les meilleurs pendant des années finit toutefois par être pénible pour GSP, qui doit retrouver sa soif de la compétition quand il s'entraîne pendant sa pause.
George had the world record for most hours spent in the octagon. After you spend 5 hours of competition time in the octagon, that means you've spent thousands of hours preparing. It's a grueling aspect of his physical training, prepping for a fight.
4 years was off. I was training for fun and I was happy. That's when you can improve the most. I had a lot of new weapons that people haven't seen yet.
Ayant retrouvé son entrain pour les camps, à l'approche de son combat, St-Pierre est dans une position peu familière, celle d'aspirant à un titre de l'UFC.
This fight with Michael Bisping will be a joy, because I'm not the champion now.
It's always the challenger that's more hungry than the champion. George is going to go out there and he's going to have that hunger of a challenger and he's going to take that belt.
Comme GSP, le champion des poids moyens, Michael Bisping, a l'habitude de se préparer au grand combat. Le temps passé par le Britannique dans l'octogone n'a d'égal que le temps passé ici. Au centre d'entraînement Ruka, à Costa Mesa, en Californie. Si le vétéran combattant a appris une chose pendant sa carrière, c'est que c'est en pratiquant qu'on atteint la perfection.
There's two things that people don't like to do. They don't like to run and they don't like to spar. It's a necessary evil. You want to get better at tennis, play tennis. You want to get better at football, play football. You want to get ready for an MMA fight, you got to spar. And I like to spar.
L'enthousiasme de Bisping pour les combats simulés doit souvent être assouvi.
That's nice, Mike.
Ce qui est devenu le domaine d'expertise de l'entraîneur-chef Jason Perillo.
See if you can stay on the right side a little bit more. Hey, it's so relaxed with it all, Mike. So good.
Jason understands me as a fighter, and that's what you need.
You're so good at going to body here. See if we can, boom, sneak it up the lane.
Yeah.
You got such control of your shots now.
Jason controls my emotions and just develop my mental game, you know, and that's partly why I'm world champion today.
So easy for you. Yes, Mikey. That's good read. Nice, Mike. I like the way you're staying on him like that. You make him do whatever you want him to do right now.
Alors que Bisping se prépare à livrer le plus gros combat de l'année, les conseils de Perillo permettent au duo de se concentrer pour exceller à l'UFC 217.
It doesn't matter who the opponent is. I've made the mistake in the past where I'm thinking about how they're going to win, so I alter my game, fighting to not lose. I'm fighting to win. I've got to go out there and I've got to beat George St. Pierre. Whatever he brings to the table, I'll be ready.
En prévision d'une autre soirée historique à New York, les vedettes de l'UFC 217 se rendent dans la Grosse Pomme dans le cadre de la tournée de promotion de l'événement.
34th floor. How great is life for you now, though? I mean, you're the middleweight champion and you're fighting in one of the biggest fights of the year.
GSP is back. Why now?
I would not have come back if I wouldn't think I'm a better version than what I was when I left off. I wanted to attempt something I've never done before. I never had an opportunity to do before. I wanted my comeback fight to be something epic, something special.
Georges St-Pierre vise à devenir seulement le 4e combattant de l'histoire de l'UFC à s'emparer de ceintures dans plusieurs catégories. Enrichir ainsi son héritage signifie battre le champion des poids moyens, Michael Bisping.
George wanted this fight really badly, and God bless him. He's fallen into the trap of thinking that he can beat me. A lot of people do that. They watch me on TV, they say, this guy isn't that good. It's a very different thing when you're in there. So thank you, George. Thank you for giving me an easy payday.
I'm not sure if he's driven by the same thing that I am. If he would have made me a choice between 100 million and lose a fight, get knocked out, or winning a fight and make zero, I would choose to win the fight. I'm not sure if he would make the same choice.
Go. Bigger.
For George to say that, he's out of his mind.
Rip it, come on, rip it.
I pride myself on being a fighter. That's what I do best in this world.
There and back. What's the goal?
My short-term goal is to become the UFC champion again.
I definitely need to stop him. He doesn't go the distance.
Wow. And long-term?
Make it in a way that I'm the best fighter, pound for pound, of all time.
He is a true martial artist in every sense of the word. He is the perfect fighting machine.
He's got the most win in UFC history, and I'm gonna beat him. This is good for my legacy, for my pride, for my honor.
There's no quitting him. There's no giving up. There's never been any strain in his belief in himself.
Go.
We can all dream, but dreams don't always come true, George. He's gonna lose, and he's gonna lose viciously.
Le combat en demi-finale de l'UFC 217 est un règlement de compte entre d'anciens coéquipiers devenus ennemis jurés et dont l'animosité a éclaté pendant le tournage de l'Ultime Combattant en février dernier. L'ancien champion TJ Dillashaw et le détenteur actuel du titre Cody Garbrandt s'entraînent avec Team Alpha Male d'Uriah Faber à Sacramento en Californie.
It was murderer's row. I was sparring with the best guys in the world, and it brought me up quick. You know, I learned exactly what I needed to do fast and developed who I am as an athlete.
Go off my command, please, then we'll start the clock, okay?
Puis, quand Faber embauche l'entraîneur Dwayne Ludwig,
Make it perfect.
Dillashaw fait d'énormes progrès.
Switch crosses, step again, left kick. Switch crosses, step again, left kick.
Oh! Big right hand! Perfect shot by Dillashaw! Dillashaw swarming!
Il obtient un combat pour le titre contre le champion du moment et grand favori, Renan Barão.
Everything he does is world class, but he's immortal.
Il offre alors une grande performance qui représente l'apogée de la tutelle de Ludwig.
Looking for the finish! Barão on his back! TJ Dillashaw is the new UFC Bantamweight champion!
Mais Ludwig rentre ensuite au Colorado.
Oh, head kick, he stunned him.
Et son élève vedette se met à partager son temps entre Denver et Sacramento quand il défend sa ceinture.
What a combination! That's it!
Dillashaw remains the champion!
Avant son 3e combat à titre de champion, la séparation devient permanente et amère.
Sat down with Uriah, told him that I was going to do my full camp in Colorado, and he wasn't having it.
People have traveled and trained through gyms since the beginning of mixed martial arts. There's many aspects to the game. You can't get all the elements in one building. It's weird. For them to cause a stink about one guy doing it when many others have continued to do it, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, everyone cross-trains, everyone travels the world and trains with new trainers, but not these guys. They're stuck in their gym doing the same things, learning from coaches that were has-been fighters that I used to beat up on.
Pendant qu'il est avec Team Alpha Male, Dillashaw passe beaucoup de temps à préparer des coéquipiers pour des combats contre Dominick Cruz, un grand champion des poids coqs qui cherche à reprendre la ceinture qu'il n'a jamais perdue, quand il revient de son absence pour blessure, afin d'affronter Dillashaw en janvier 2016.
Oh, good right hand by TJ.
La défaite très serrée sur décision de Dillashaw contre Cruz met fin à son règne. Pendant les années menant à ses combats pour le titre, un jeune Cody Garbrandt fait sa place au sein de Team Alpha Male, aidant même parfois à préparer Dillashaw pendant la rapide progression de sa carrière. Quand Garbrandt entreprend sa carrière professionnelle, s'entraîner avec l'équipe de Uriah Faber à Sacramento est la clé pour réaliser ses rêves.
I remember the first time that I came out here, he said, "What do you want to do?" So I want to fight in the UFC, I want to be the world champion.
World champ.
Right to work.
You know, that was nearly 4 years ago we had that conversation walking off the mats at the old gym. Now we're at this new state-of-the-art facility.
The last facility was 8,500 square feet. This one's 21,000 square feet. We've got everything here. You know, a locker room for the team. We've got the back area that's outside. We've got a massive mural on the outside, which is incredible. Small steps, both directions. Get your arms nice and loose. Facing forward. It's gonna be a spot that people come from around the globe to check out. I'm going right over the top. Here. Now I just sit under and stay tall. I don't want to fall back. Switch hands. Let his head fall out. Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. You see a lot of guys that come into this gym and take a bunch of different paths. And Cody's path has been right to the top. Nice.
Cody No Love Garbrandt is a member of Team Alpha Male, set to fight in the octagon for the first time.
And this young man has a tremendous amount of potential. So far, looking very smooth and composed in his UFC debut. Oh, that's it, that's it. Cody Garbrandt is a real animal.
Uriah and TJ love it. Members of Team Alpha Male call Cody Garbrandt the next UFC champion. Oh my! Great connections by Garbrandt.
This guy is one of the most exciting prospects, if not the most, in this division.
I'm going to make it all the way to the top. I'm not stopping until I get gold and bring it back to our hometown.
Brazil's next truly elite fighter and potentially champion, 21-0, Thomas Almeida.
Man, Almeida's getting diced up right now. He's hurt.
Avec 3 KO consécutifs au premier round en 2016,
48 seconds is all it took.
Garbrandt obtient un combat pour le titre lors de la dernière soirée de l'année, où il affronte le rival de longue date d'Alpha Male, Dominick Cruz, qui détient toujours la ceinture enlevée à TJ Dillashaw au début de son propre parcours impressionnant de 12 mois.
It is UFC 207.
Avant leur demi-finale, Dillashaw affronte le dangereux aspirant brésilien John Lineker, afin de s'approcher du combat pour le titre.
I mean, TJ is continuing to get better. Look at that. It's almost like they're on two different speeds, and he's just beating him up on the ground. He went for a slashing elbow there. Boy, it's a dominant performance by TJ.
I don't care who it is. I want my belt. Dominick Cruz, Cody Garbrandt. Bantamweight title on the line.
Sous les yeux de Dillashaw et du reste du monde, Garbrandt se frotte au style insaisissable du champion Dominick Cruz.
A lot of questions being answered by Cody.
Against the man who's never lost at 135.
He stunned him again.
Un style que les 5 membres d'Alpha Male, à avoir affronté Dominator pour un titre avant lui, n'ont pas su élucider.
Oh, he tagged him. He tagged him with the right hand. What head movement by Cody. Beautiful head movement. And he is talking trash to Dominic and laughing at him. Cody has shown ridiculous speed and precision. Oh! Dominic's in big trouble.
He's not! He's not!
No one has ever been able to do this to Dominic Cruz.
It was very rewarding to be able to finally end that chapter with Dominic Cruz for myself, but also for my team.
You know, he's one of the best in the world, and now I'm the best in the world. So anyone can come get it. TJ Dillashaw, come try me.
L'ancien champion des poids coqs, TJ Dillashaw, progresse depuis qu'il a déménagé au Colorado afin de travailler avec l'entraîneur-chef Duane Ludwig. Déterminé à diversifier son entraînement, il reprend la route et retourne sur son terrain de jeu universitaire en prévision de l'UFC 217.
I'm back next to Cal State Fullerton where I went to school, where I used to wrestle. An area I'm very familiar with. I lived down here for 6 years. When you get complacent with training is when you get beat, you know, when you're not evolving as a fighter. And I'm one of those guys that really wants to learn from as many people as possible, especially if I think it's going to benefit my career. I've been working with Mark Munoz, my old college wrestling coach. He's my assistant coach at Cal State Fullerton. He's actually the one that got me into fighting.
What a performance tonight by the Filipino wrecking machine.
Pendant que l'ancien poids moyen de l'UFC, Mark Munoz, affronte les meilleurs au monde chez les 185 livres,
This guy has some of the best ground and pound that I've seen in the middleweight division.
il enseigne la lutte aux autres combattants. Même s'il a depuis pris sa retraite et fermé son centre d'entraînement, il collabore maintenant avec Dillashaw et d'autres pour former une nouvelle équipe en Californie du Sud.
And jog. Guys, 2 in, 2 out. 2 in, 2 out. 6 people in here. Perfect. 2 3-man groups. We've created a team here that is closed, and we can run our own private training. So I'm here. Here. Okay, hand on the inside. Hip pressure with shoulder. Try it. It's an honor to have Mark Munoz coaching me once again. You know, he's not one of those coaches that's just going to teach you what he thinks is going to work. All the techniques he's teaching, he's already used inside the cage. Here, push. Once I push down a tricep, I got 2 or 3 hard punches coming at him. Boom! I love refining a guy every single time because when you watch him his last fight, that's not necessarily going to be him this next fight. He's going to keep reinventing himself.
Changer constamment de lieu a aidé Dillashaw à progresser. Et même si son équipe en pleine croissance compte des entraîneurs du passé,
1, 2, and up and up. There you go, got it.
elle est complétée par de nouveaux visages, comme l'entraîneur de force et conditions physiques, Sam Calavita.
These guys who come into here are guys who want to push the threshold, not just physically and guess, but scientifically. You're all 3 in lactate right now. 16% SMO2. This is truly threshold capacity right now. My mantra is basically success through science. Math don't lie. And so everything I do is by the numbers. Look at that, 0% oxygen. He's in complete arterial occlusion, which means he's trapped, oxygen is gone, it's just complete seize. A lot of guys think they've pushed it. You think you're there, but the numbers will tell you if you're there, and they go to new heights. That's it, run, 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 there you go. Good, 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 go, 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 go. Good.
Sam's on a whole nother level with our strength and conditioning, and this professional fight team is no joke.
Nice! That's it! Ha, 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 ha! Drive, 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 drive!
This is the best I've ever felt in my career, and with the gains that I've made, this is going to be by far the most impressive you're going to see me.
Alors que Dillashaw termine son séjour en Californie du Sud, Cody Garbrandt est dans le Nord pour se préparer à affronter son ancien partenaire d'entraînement.
TJ's movement has always been excellent. I expect it to be even better since his fight with Dominic Cruz.
I was at this fight actually at 200, and I was sitting in the stands and I was like, holy TJ is so slow.
I know you told me that.
I was like, dude, I texted him, like, he is so slow.
TJ, ready? Fight's on.
I've always been focused on TJ. I've always pictured myself fighting TJ. Like I said, I have fought TJ in the gym.
You will notice that Dillashaw constantly switches from southpaw to orthodox stance.
Cody and TJ have gone to battle, and so we can always kind of take a look at things that are happening in fights and relate it back to stuff that's happened in the past.
Nice takedown by TJ, that's huge.
TJ was, you know, going around the gym, was like, couldn't wait to spar me. Like, he's like, oh, I can't wait to get my hands on Cody. And I was like, all right, I'll never shy away from a fist fight.
He's like almost like hunched over in a wrestling stance when he's fighting.
There's a nice kick by TJ, and then whoop, right out again. Wayne Bang Ludwig 101 here.
I had a couple different occasions where he came to me and he said, hey, if TJ keeps getting cheap like that, I swear I'm gonna drop these gloves and I'm gonna knock his out. That happens on occasion in the fight game. They're iron sharpening iron. They're kicking the crap out of each other.
Good right hand there by Sun Sao.
It's not gonna be any different. I'm gonna leave it all in there. I'm gonna go for broke, go for the knockout, go for the finish, and just ending this chapter, moving on.
Yeah.
I had a goal and a dream of being a world champion long before I knew TJ.
3-4.
So if I was up for the shot and TJ was the champion, I would fight him.
On the way up, when I'm holding mitts for him and running practice for him, I'm cool, you know, but now when he wins the belt and he's the man, he's a little punk and wants to talk crap.
No, you won't. You didn't do
Go for it, bitch. Go for it. Oh, doing what, bitch? What? You didn't do nothing.
It's no different if he was on the team still or he's not. Now it's easier. Now it's easier because of all the added dislike for the guy. The first hard shot that I land, he'll go to sleep.
À l'UFC 217, à New York, Garbrandt et Dillashaw vont passer à l'action.
These angles, amazing. God.
Et vont enfin s'affronter au Madison Square Garden.
This is a bull versus matador display by TJ Dillashaw.
I want to push the pace until he wants to give up. Just know that he's giving that belt away.
The speed and the power and the combinations of Cody Garbrandt.
What's going to happen is a vicious knockout from yours truly, the first round.
Oh, he just tagged him with a beautiful right hand. What a combination! Unbelievable! This may be the most impressive performance I've ever seen.
Le troisième combat en vedette de l'UFC 217 a pour enjeu la ceinture des poids pailles chez les femmes, que détient la championne invaincue, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. La dominante polonaise veut défendre son titre une 6e fois et égaler le record de l'UFC pour le nombre de défenses consécutives chez les femmes. Elle affronte l'aspirante Rose Namajunas, qui progresse de manière fulgurante depuis sa défaite lors du premier combat pour le titre des poids pailles de l'UFC en 2014.
I knew so many things that I did wrong. I took quite a bit of time off. Obviously, I was training and slowly getting back into it, but I needed some time to just decompress and just some time to grow up.
We knew that that wasn't the time. That's when we kind of woke up, man. We were just in a daze. Everybody in the world calling her the next Ronda Rousey. I mean, we just went with it. A lot of our time in with Rose as a team has consisted of kind of like a lot of trial and error. Like, we knew what we were doing, but we weren't totally sure about it. Prepping for a fight is no longer a mystery. We know exactly what to do.
Perdre un combat important peut être une excellente occasion d'apprendre pour une jeune combattante. Et ce fut le cas de Rose Namajunas.
I feel like you're gonna headbutt something. What beautiful.
Qui, avec son entraîneur Trevor Whitman, souhaite revenir à ses racines pour la prochaine course au titre.
So back to your normal shadow boxing, they add that into it?
We reset everything. We took away all the flash and we're working on that foundation.
Sometimes when we go straight, we kind of keep that forward motion. Well, I always almost want to see like you're taking an angle towards your target. There you go. Yes. Boom, love it. Boom, good. Let's do it again. The position, the jabs, knowing range, everything. Boom, go. Boom, take a break. Awesome job. To me, it's all about positional and balance. If you're positioned, you're not going to get hit.
She's like a #1 draft pick. You know, that's kind of how we looked at it. She's 21 years old, fought for the title at 22. Her first UFC fight was a title fight.
Set, bang, love it. Again.
It's been a non-stop effort to get back to the title.
Come up higher than this and then drop under.
Oh, beautiful, yeah. And her last few performances, her growth has been so much that you can clearly see the difference.
Pre-fight, Joe Rose said her grappling is better than ever. Let's see if she can lock it in.
Oh, Angela's in big trouble. She's out. She's out.
Get it all over!
The experience of fighting for a UFC title last December, all paying dividends here in the early going.
There it is!
So Rose Namajunas finishes the job.
Hug! Rose Namajunas!
Namajunas continue de s'améliorer à chaque combat. L'apogée de sa progression est manifeste quand elle affronte l'ancienne championne d'Invicta, Michelle Waterson, plus tôt cette année.
Nice right hand by Waterson. Oh! Namajunas with a huge head kick. Waterson trying so hard to stay in this fight. Fight hands, there's the tap. God! Rose Namajunas with arguably the biggest win of her life.
I feel like I can go all the way to the belt and hold it for a while. So, Joanna, I'm coming for you. Be careful.
Le combat pour le titre fort mérité de Namajunas arrive 3 ans après sa défaite contre l'ancienne championne Carla Esparza. Pour la première défense de son titre à Dallas, Esparza est la favorite des parieurs. Et elle utilise la lutte pour attaquer une kickboxeuse moins connue.
Oh, beautiful right hand. Just constant punishment by young Jacek. They can stop this fight. It's starting to get ugly.
Joanna Jędrzejczyk is the new UFC Women's Strawweight Champion.
Joanna Jędrzejczyk venait d'arriver. Elle établit une nouvelle norme d'excellence à 115 livres, alors qu'elle brutalise les aspirantes qui l'affrontent.
So tense and so focused, so driven and so ferocious inside the octagon.
This woman brings it. All she wants to be is champion. One of the best strikers in the game, period, has vaulted to superstardom.
À l'approche de la 4e défense de son titre lors des débuts à New York de l'UFC il y a 1 an, Jędrzejczyk déménage de manière imprévue et termine son camp d'entraînement avec American Top Team.
I mean, she was an undefeated world champion and then still realized that she could be better and change gyms and change coaches and wanted to push herself that much harder.
I'm tired.
Avec une performance typique, Jędrzejczyk malmène sa rivale polonaise pendant 5 rounds.
Beautiful combination. Joanna's just sharper, more effective. This is starting to run away.
La championne revient immédiatement en Floride du Sud pour continuer d'améliorer ses compétences.
Since I moved to ATT, I feel like everything is on point. I learn new things every day.
The program is amazing. There's so many great fighters, so many great coaches.
Pick up time, don't rush, very good.
You can't come here and not get good.
I wanna be better fighter, better champion with every fight, and I proved that in my last fight with Jessica Andrade in Dallas.
Ah, yes, the MMA leader has returned to Big D. This is an MMA crazed region and a most fitting host city for one of the biggest pay-per-views of 2017. The number 3 ranked UFC strawweight contender, Jessica Andrade.
She's facing Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the dominant champion in women's MMA today.
A lot of people believe this will be Joanna Jędrzejczyk's toughest title defense today.
Oh, she clipped her. Oh, beautiful. Oh, Andrade just walking through everything. Joanna's a beast and champion's on another level.
Joanna champion right back to work, attacking that lead leg of Andrade, inside and out.
Oh, she stung her. Oh, head kick, she hurt her. Whoa. Back with him. Andrade, she has just taken a ton of punishment in this fight.
La carrière de Jędrzejczyk est toujours sans tâche, alors qu'elle vise à prolonger sa série victorieuse à une 6e défense de son titre.
And again, and again, and again, and still, here we go! We're making history!
La championne des poids-pailles de l'UFC, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, a totalement adopté les extravagances de la Floride du Sud. En plein milieu de son camp pour l'UFC 217, elle ne craint pas de briser la monotonie et de se laisser aller.
I'm a very active person and jet ski is definitely my thing. I used to do jet ski when I was training in Thailand, so good memories with that. I'm kind of crazy and funny person, but I'm very serious when it's about my career. I wanna show to people that hard work pays off.
À l'UFC 217, Jędrzejczyk tentera de défendre sa ceinture pour la 6e fois, égalisant ainsi le record de Ronda Rousey pour les défenses consécutives d'un titre par une championne. Étant donné les records et l'héritage en jeu pour chaque combat, la combattante ne manque pas de motivation.
You would think a lot of fighters wouldn't be as hungry as she is, but she's as self-motivated as they come.
I wanna tie Ronda Rousey's record and retire as undefeated champion in the future. This is my goal.
She's working harder than before. She pushed herself more than before. And it's gonna be a great fight. One of the best female fights in UFC history.
L'aspirante en titre des poids-pailles, Rose Namajunas, poursuit son camp d'entraînement en vue de l'UFC 217 à Denver, au Colorado. Avec son équipe personnelle d'entraîneurs, qui comprend son fiancé et ancien poids lourd de l'UFC, Pat Barry.
Instead of there being one big team environment where everyone comes in and everyone helps everyone get better, we are putting time and attention specifically on Rose to make Rose better.
Let it burn, let's go! Head time, Armstrong!
Ce groupe isolé se concentre entièrement sur Joanna Jędrzejczyk et prévoit insuffler à l'UFC 217 un niveau de confiance qui ne sera pas brisé dans les jours précédant le combat.
Joanna has like the Mike Tyson effect where everyone is afraid of her before they fight her. The stare downs, she puts her forehead on yours, she pushes, she says really mean things.
Why are you smiling? I'm gonna take this smile out.
If she can mess you up in the mind, you'll lose the fight. She knows it.
She's arguably the best female fighter of all time. And she's going for Ronda Rousey's record. I'm here to ruin the party, though. I like to crash parties, and that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, it's wonderful.
À l'approche de l'UFC 217, tout le monde prend conscience de l'ampleur du plus gros événement de l'année. Et les vedettes de la carte historique sont réunies pour la première fois.
You say, why would you come back? Why would I not come back? You know, I have a chance to fight for the world title against Michael Bisping.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, Madison Square Garden is a legendary arena. It doesn't really get any bigger than that.
Soon, baby, I'm coming for all of you.
Oh, my rock, unbelievable!
I don't care who it is. I want my belt!
You left Colorado, you're around California. You're like a prostitute on the corner bouncing around from the gyms.
At least I'm out learning new.
We'll find that out, won't we?
Yeah, we will.
Won't we?
Yes, we will.
Oh, he got rocked!
I beat Luke Rockhold, the champion. I defended my loss against Dan Henderson. I'm one of the greatest MMA fighters that there's ever been.
He's not going to beat me.
In a lot of ways, he is the perfect fighting machine.
There's nothing more sure. Water is wet, fire burn, and I'm going to beat Michael Bisping.
Well, come on. Break it down. How are you going to do that, George?
I'm going to do whatever I want.
So you're going to look...
Whatever I want to do, when I want to do it.
Take me
That's
down.
what I'm going to do.
Tout est en place pour le plus gros événement de l'histoire de l'UFC. Le célèbre Madison Square Garden présentera des combats déterminants pour les champions, les aspirants et la légende qui est de retour. Prépare-toi à New York. Quand les portes de l'Octogone se refermeront sur l'UFC 217, une page d'histoire va s'écrire.